Okay, this is the third module of the basketball's official trainings. We'll be going over some more violations. The first we'll be going over is a kickball. So on a kickball, it must be intentional in order for a kickball to be called a violation. So there's contact from the leg, from the hip down. And if it's intentional, if they kick a leg out, that'll be a violation. Blow the whistle, and we'll take the ball out of bounds, and the team that did not kick the ball will be in possession at that point. If it's deemed unintentional, so it just happens to hit somebody in the foot, it'll be a no call. It'll just play it as if it hit off somebody's hand. So what we'll see there is the player in white at the very end intentionally sticks his foot out to stop the pass, and that is a textbook kickball violation. Yeah, so what we'll see here is a player in blue accidentally dribbles it off of the foot of a white player. So it was an unintentional contact with the leg or foot. So a good no call here. We can look at it again. Player in blue accidentally dribbles it off the white player's foot. It looks like he's looking for a kickball, but it's a good no call in this scenario. Carrying or palming is the next violation. So this is when a ball momentarily comes to rest in the ball handler's hand. So it can either be somebody that can palm the ball while they're dribbling, grabbing the ball like that, and holding it, or what you'll typically see is somebody kind of cup it underneath of the ball while they're dribbling, and it kind of looks like the old Allen Iverson crossover. And we'll see a video of it, but it's basically when somebody, instead of dribbling the ball down to the ground, they either catch it or hold it up before taking another dribble. And we'll see a video. Yep, so good call here. The player does the old Allen Iverson where he brings it out to the right, puts his hand under the ball, and then dribbles back across. Yeah, so they don't call it here, but you'll see the same player kind of does the same thing on this little hesitation dribble at the top of the key. So he kind of puts his hand under and carries it. It looks like they miss it because he gets back to a dribble, but look for it here when he gets to the top of the key. Right there, that dribble where he puts his hand under the ball. Okay, lane violations. So these are when we're shooting free throws. So when you're going to need to blow the whistle immediately is if somebody on the shooting team does a lane violation. So essentially, if somebody is in the lane spaces on the shooting team, so that second spot, if they step inside the lane or step on the line before the ball is released, then we can immediately blow a whistle. Similarly, if they are outside of the arc, they need to wait until the ball hits the backboard or the rim before they're allowed to leave. So even if the ball is in the air and they step over, that'll be an immediate lane violation. Blow your whistle and we're going the other way. Same thing, the shooter himself or herself also needs to wait before stepping in the lane. It needs to wait until the backboard of the rim is contacted. So if it's on the team that is shooting, it's immediate, blow your whistle, and we're going the other way. On the other hand, if it is a member of the defensive team, a non-shooting team member, we'll do that delayed lane violation, so holding the fist out to the right. And the reason that we do this is because we don't want to punish the shooting team for a mistake that the defense makes. So if they make the basket, then we're going to just count it and we don't need to blow the whistle at all. However, if they miss the basket, we can blow the whistle at that point and they'll get another shot. So in the lane, it is before the ball is released. If they're out at the 3-point arc, they need to either hit the backboard or the rim. Yeah, so this one is the shooter that is a lane violation. So I'm not sure if they call it or not, but you'll see she steps over the foul line before the ball contacts the rim or the backboard. Yeah, and it looks like they call it, so that's good. But have a look at that. Watch her feet while the ball's in the air. Yep, so that's an immediate lane violation. Blow your whistle, basket does not count, and we're going the other way. The next two we'll go over is basket interference and goaltending. So basket interference can be touched by either team, and that is while the ball is in the cylinder or the net above the rim. So if the defense commits this violation, it'll be considered essentially the same thing as goaltending. We'll count the basket regardless if it goes in. And if it's on the offense, so if they touch the ball while it's in the cylinder, the net, or above the rim, the offense touches it, then we will wave off the basket even if it goes through. Goaltending, they can only be committed by the defense. So either they're touching it while it's above the rim, or if, say, somebody's shooting like a floater and the ball is on its way down towards the basket, nobody's allowed to touch it at that point. So that'll be goaltending as well. The ball must be above the rim and have a chance to go in. Another example of goaltending is if a player is taking a layup and it bounces off the backboard. Once it contacts the backboard, the defenders are no longer allowed to block it. If they do touch it after it touches the backboard and it has a chance to go in, that'll be goaltending as well. So we'll see that player jumps up. We can't quite see the backboard, but while the ball is up in the air and on its way down, it may have touched the backboard. I'm not sure. The defender comes and swats it away, and that is goaltending. Yep, so this is a basket interference on the offense. The ball is in the cylinder there, and then you'll see a member of the goal team come in and touch it. So even though it eventually goes to the basket, we're going to wave that off as basket interference. Yeah, so this is the last way that goaltending can happen is if on a layup, a member of the defensive team comes and slaps the backboard really hard. That can cause the ball to hit off the backboard harder or move the rim. And so if they slap it hard enough to move the backboard and the rim, that will be goaltending as well, and we'll count that basket. Some other violations are double dribbles, so dribbling the ball once a first dribble has stopped. So I want to make it clear that a player is allowed to dribble the ball with two hands, but it can only be one time. So they can take, it's called a power dribble. They can take the ball as long as they haven't dribbled yet, dribble it once with both hands and catch it, and that is not a double dribble. However, if they are dribbling with their right hand, they pick it up with two hands and then dribble again, that is when it's a double dribble. Or if they bounce it twice with two hands. So essentially, they can only dribble it and pick it up with two hands one time. After that, they're not allowed to dribble again. 10 seconds backcourt. So this is when a player catches the ball in the backcourt, the basket that they are not going to. And at that point, we'll count to 10 seconds. And if they have not crossed into the front court before that 10 seconds is up, then that'll be a 10-second backcourt violation. Similarly, 5-second out of bounds. So if a player is taking the ball out of bounds and trying to pass it in, they only have 5 seconds to release the pass. And that key word there is release. So if they're on 4 and they pass it and then 5 hits while the ball is in the air, that's okay. If the ball is still in their hands when 5 hits, that's when it's a 5-second violation. Yeah, so it's hard to see here, but 33, the player who just had the ball, takes a dribble and then kind of does a push dribble, touches it with two hands, and then quickly tries to dribble again. And this referee sees it, and that is a double dribble. So that was close. It's gonna again obviously be up to your opinion. The ball needs to be out of his hands with 5 seconds. So this official had it that the ball was still in his hands at 5 seconds. So that was a 5-second violation. Couple more to wrap up this module. A spot violation is a player moves side to side or farther than the 3-foot area on a spot throw-in. So you hand the ball in, it's not after a made basket. The player has a 3-foot area where they're allowed to stand. And if they move side to side outside of that, it'll be called a spot violation. We'll turn it over and give the other team the ball in that spot. 3 seconds in the lane, I went over it earlier. That is that 3 seconds and the waving of the hand there. So that is an offensive player that is in the lane for 3 seconds and does not completely exit the lane. So completely gets no contact in the lane. A held or jump ball. This is when two players on opposite teams both have simultaneous possession. Both have the ball. It could be on a shot. So if an offensive player goes up and then a defensive player grabs the ball, that could be a jump ball violation. It's not a violation on either team. We'll go over a possession and what that looks like later on, but essentially, since it's not a violation on a single team, that will just go back and forth. So teams will take turn on who gets the ball during jump ball situations. Excessive swing of the elbows is exactly what it sounds like. You'll see it after a rebound. A lot of times people will put their elbows out and swing. That is illegal because it's dangerous, obviously. So we do not want that. That will be the end of module 3. Take the quiz and come back for some more.